Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today I'm talking about Seeking Perfection, the unofficial guide to Tremors by Jonathan Melville with a foreword by Michael Gross. And this is from somebody. Fountain Bridge, apparently, is the publisher. And this is basically what it says right there on the cover. It's a book that covers the ins and outs of the first four Tremors movies and the one single season of the Tremors TV show. And it's from inception to, pre-production, production, post-production. There are interviews, there are photos, tons of behind-the-scenes stuff. And unfortunately, no Fred Ward. Apparently, he was very private, didn't do a lot of interviews, and has passed away. But you've got Michael Gross, Kevin Bacon, the writers, director, producers, the other stars, Reba McEntire, all sorts of people. So, right off the bat, for those who don't know, the Tremors movies are sort of creature feature horror comedy about these underground giant worms, carnivorous worms. The original movie, which is one of my favorites, I absolutely love it, stars Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Michael Gross, Reba McEntire, others. And they're in this small town of perfection. It's like a population of 15, that kind of town. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward play Earl and Val. They're a couple of like jack of all trade, handyman guys, and they end up being our heroes in the end. There's a college student seismologist working on her doctorate, I think, something like that, who gets involved, and there's things start happening. People start dying and disappearing. Turns out it's giant worms, and we have our movie. And then the the second movie, Fred Ward, Michael Gross are back, and a new type of a new step in the evolution of these monsters is introduced. In the third movie, only Michael Gross is back this time, from those main four. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Michael Gross, Reba McEntire. Michael Gross is in all of the stuff. They introduce a third kind of thing, and then in the fourth movie they go back to the Old West, sort of a prequel origin story. They introduce even another step of the creature's growth cycle. And then the TV series I have not seen. I just got it on DVD. There were 13 episodes. It was made for Sci-Fi. They aired them out of order. And they were fighting these things, the graboids, for those of you who don't know what they're called, as well as other things, other creatures and stuff. They wanted to make it, at least Sci-Fi, or the studio wanted to make it like a Monster of the Week type of show. So, yes, all of that being said, that's what this book covers. Oh, there is a bit at the end, as this book was being written before going to the publisher. There was social media activity with the studio, with Michael Gross, with Jamie Kennedy, some other people talking about filming of Tremors 5. So at the time this book came out, or at least when it was put to bed, I know that's what they say about newspapers. I don't know if they say it about books. Once it was too late to make any changes, the fifth Tremors movie had not come out yet. I believe there's at least 7 Tremors at this point. but at the time of this publication, there were 4. The TV series, a 5th one in the middle of being filmed. So it just talks a little bit about that and how the people that created Tremors were involved with all 4 movies in the TV show in some manner. And then they were just left out in the cold for the 5th one, and I assume the rest, the 6th, 7th. I feel like there's another one, but it doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, this covers all of that good stuff. And as a huge fan of the movie, as a fan of behind the scenes stuff, I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, 4.5. I never know if I should round up or not, but definitely a 4.5. And again, it's I enjoy learning about the inception of the thing. I like hearing from the writers, the directors, the director of photography, the special effects people. So many practical effects. Full-size puppets of these creatures, miniatures. Eventually, they started getting a little bit more CGI as it became more available and more affordable. But so many practical effects, and I love to hear how it was done. I knew a lot of the stuff, at least from the original movie, from watching the behind-the-scenes things on the Blu-ray. But, learned some of the tricks of the trade that they used in the later movies and in the TV show, which I've never seen. Yeah, I like to know how these things are put together, and I love Tremors, so yes, 4.5 out of 5. Seeking Perfection, The Unofficial Guide to Tremors by Jonathan Melville. If you're a fan of the Tremors movies, if you're a fan of creature features, low-ish budget filmmaking, and they talk a lot about the budget and how it got smaller every single time, I would recommend this. It's really a lot of fun. So there's that. My question for this video, I think, is going to be obvious. Are you a fan of Tremors? I saw the movie in the theater. I fell in love with it. I've almost always owned it on home video since it came out on home video. I actually have 2 copies. I generally don't do that sort of thing, but I have a box set that has all 4 movies, the first 4 movies. And then I have I believe it's the Arrow Video Super Deluxe Special Edition. So yes, and I'm not going to get rid of the box set because it has 3 other movies. But I really wanted all the special features, the remastering, all that great stuff that came with the special feature. So I'm a huge fan. I'm looking forward to watching the show. I know it's a low budget. I know it's sci-fi, original, but I'm hoping at the very least, it'll be fun. But what about you? Do you like Tremors? Have you seen the first one? Have you seen any of the others? Have you seen the TV show? Have you seen like the 5, 6, and 7? Michael Gross and Jamie Kennedy is at least in 2 of them, if not 3. I've seen the 5th one, and it very much just had that feel of a made-for-sci-fi kind of movie, but not the worst kind, but also not the best. It sort of fell in the middle ground. I didn't feel I wasted my time, but I wasn't head over heels for it. What about you? What's your Tremors history? What are your thoughts on the Tremors legacy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here. on the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is at Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.